Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Casual Dad Plays Civ 7 and we're continuing our Ultimate Guide to Civ 7 series. There was just a new update 1.2.2 released as of recording this video that changes some things up from a previous guide portion, so just want to go ahead and add that in real quick, and it is the options as you're getting set up. They've now changed it where you can have more options. So I'm going to go through and explain why I have these and let you know what they do, and then we'll get on to the rest of this video. First off, thank you guys for coming. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the guide video. Those subs and likes really help me out. Let me know what you like, not just this video, but all videos that we have here on the channel. And make sure to check out the description to see how you can join the Casual Dad gaming community. I always love you guys, and we're a cool bunch and like to just hang out and have fun. So I'm doing Immoral today instead of Deity, just make it a little easier as I'm explaining things to you guys and not wanting too much of a challenge for myself, because we're going to go into a kind of like an excruciatingly slow playthrough, but that's because I'm going to be explaining each little part to the game, but we're gonna have some cuts. We're gonna be jumping to like big decisions. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna plan out things and show you why we're doing it a certain way, and then just cut to the next section that's important. And so I don't know how many episodes we're gonna have, but this whole thing is gonna be from antiquity to modern and just really showing you a breakdown of a game and why different decisions are made, so that you can learn from that. So going through the rest of the options, standard game speed. I'm doing balance as a test. I've been having problems with the like if this is a continent, just the edges being settled on the new world and nothing in the middle. Thankfully there is trade convoys now, so you can get land-based resources, treasure resources sent back. You just gotta have open borders and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to test this out. Standard is fun. It's a little bit less balanced, so you can have some really good openers. So make sure you do that. Long, we're doing long again, just so we have time in each age to, flesh things out and show you everything to help you go from being a noob to a pro with our ultimate guide here. Independent hostilities, you can set to friendly, hostile, or default, which is a grab bag. We're setting them to friendly, just again for the video. If you're having problems with independent people, definitely set them as friendly. It is funny to do a Sue's rush on all of them, and friendly makes it half the time. So that really gives them OP results when you do the independent people's rush when they're friendly. For the purpose of this video, we are going to have the bypass civilization unlocks enabled so that we can pick what we want as we go through. We're still going to aim to unlock them properly, but just in case we don't, we're going to have that there. I would suggest that unless you are dead set on a certain path through the ages, leave this disabled, and learn the different unlocks. It has a nice little strategy to it and helps you really learn the game and be intentional about each of your games. So there's that. Continents, I would suggest do Continents Plus. The difference is between that and regular continents is the islands. Continents doesn't have it, Continents Plus does. Archipelago is pretty good if you're having trouble because the AI is not great at water, and so that gives you a little bit of an advantage. Fractal's fun just because of the random, and same thing for Terra Incognita. It's kind of like Continents Plus, but you don't know what the new world could be. It could be anything of the others. So that's pretty fun. We're going to be small today, just again, to make it a little easier for this next section of the guide. Disaster intensity, we're going to leave as light. I would suggest not going above this, again, unless you're doing something purposeful, since you are probably still learning the game. And really, it just becomes annoying when it's like every turn you have to repair stuff. And now they let you choose your crises. I've turned off some of the more annoying ones and left the funny ones on, which are the revolts. They're funny to me because, again, we're making this guide to help you guys. We don't want to have too much of a problem. The worst one is the plague crisis. You can get plague doctors and stuff, but you need a plague doctor for every hex that is infected. And so that can be pretty bad, mostly if you have units in the plagues zones. But if you don't have units there, then it's pretty easy. And then the invasion crisis and the revolution crisis, those aren't too hard, but it's going to detract from what we're trying to do. The revolts don't detract because that's only going to happen if you have unhappy settlements. Well, if you're playing the game well, most of the time you're going to have happy settlements, so we're going to leave those on. And then they change the legacy path, so you can choose which ones you want, specific path through the ages. I suggest leave them on just so you can track progress. Like if you're usually really good at the Great Library, but you want to get better than others, still do the Great Library so you get your golden ages and your legacy points. But now you can track the others and make sure you're learning how to do some of the others as well. But that's about it for the changes to the update. We are playing as Ada Lovelace, as you can see here in the background, and we are going to be Maya, and we have just some basic mementos about tech and civic mastery bonuses to get those out faster. Nothing crazy, because I'm assuming you guys have not fully unlocked. A lot of the civs are not playing with the mod that unlocks all the mementos. So we're just going with some early mementos from different players out there. And yeah, so let's get into the game and get started. Alright, here we are loaded into the game. As you see, we have a pretty decent start. And we're not going to talk too much about this because we did go over quite a bit in the last part of the Ultimate Guide series. So we're going to plop down right here. It may not be the absolute best because the water here takes away from the bonuses. They get a bonus for rainforest tiles around the city center, but that's okay. So now let's jump into our initial build order. So the Mayas are a little different than most people. So I'm going to tell you what I do for most people and then what I do for Mayas. Most people, I do 2 scouts. That's the Jaguar Slayer for Mayas. I do minimum 2 scouts. And then if I've got some hostile independent people, I'll throw in a warrior. If I'm planning to go to war, I'm going to throw in a warrior to start getting those units out quicker. But most of the time with most units, most civs, I end up getting 3 scouts and then a warrior. Well, I'm not doing that because for the Jaguar Slayer, they can lay down a trap to help slow people, do damage to them as they're fighting, but they also can fight back. They're the only scout that can fight back. You see here they have the same combat strength as the warrior, but they're a scout. So for sure, always go 3 Jaguar Slayers, maybe 4. It's really powerful being able to scout, and so we're going to be doing that. And whenever I personally I like to, as soon as it is out, I like to hit the search, because now see I have flat plains, flat tropical. We're Maya, we like tropical a little bit better, so now I know next turn I'm gonna start heading up there, right? So I'll just go ahead and path that way. Okay, Maya, we're surrounded by woodcutters. We have 1 quarry, 2 quarries. We'll have another mine, 3 mines, and a bunch of farms. So usually what you want to do if you want to be optimal or meta is that you go with the brickyard because of the increased production to mines and quarries. But because we have the Holche, the range unit, as well as a ton of woodcutters around, and we're going to have a couple of camps and pastures, we're going to actually start animal husbandry, and then we'll go up to riding to start getting that boosted. And so that's going to be our path for that. We do need to put in our scientific points so we can get an extra on the capital. So we're going to move through and we're just going to talk about things, the opening build order and things like that. So now, we want production and happiness and gold and food. Those are kind of the main things. If you got something that gives straight up flat science or culture, that's good. The silk is a percentage, so as you can see, we're not producing any culture right now, so there's no point in rushing to it. The Kowlin is going to be pretty good. The rubies will be good a little bit later, but because we've got to cross a Nagua River, not that great right now. But of course, we want to eventually get to the out here to the sheep. But we're going to build that way with our buildings, so that's not going to be a concern. So let's get out here to the Kowlin. And we're just going to keep, a double silk. See, now I'm thinking in my mind, oh, that's a Ming next age if you have enough silk. All right, and we found a city-state. So let's see, money or production. Generally, I value money around 4 times production or 5 times production. So basically, this is like a break even. So, because I know I'm going to get a lot of gold with my build, I really want to get a Jaguar Slayer out faster. Later in the game, when my production is already built up, I will go for the gold. But right now, this is kind of a tie. This one's like a toss-up. So I'm just going to get my Jaguar guy out faster, and he's going to come down this way. And then we're just going to keep moving along. So I'm already thinking, where do I want to go next? Okay, ooh, that one's pretty good. Buying units. There's gold towards purchasing units. That's pretty helpful. Ooh, that's gold towards purchasing buildings. That's real lovely. Now we're going to get this Kowlin because food is just too good. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh my goodness. This city-state is in prime position. So I do have the map tax mod. It's pretty handy. Helps with planning, so we're going to use some of that. Why can I not click my city center? It doesn't look like it's working, but that's okay. Let's see if we can click over here. Nope. Well, what I like to do it for is I like to, plan out my cities. It's gonna be helpful in the beginning. I'm not sure why that's messed up, but we'll fix that. All right, now over here we have 50 gold and 50 happiness or 45 culture. I'm always big on you've got to open up culture as soon as possible in antiquity. It's more important than pretty much anything else because it takes so long to get online, and especially as the Maya and really most of the civs, but some not. It doesn't matter as much, but most of the civs, it's really important to get to their civics fast, get your Pantheon fast, get that first commander unlocked fast. So just all about going fast. So now we're going to queue up straight to riding because that's what we need. We're going to come over here. Now what I like to do is if I'm going to end here, then I like to go ahead and just end sooner and do another spread around, because I'm just going to move one turn and then stop on that. That way I'm being a little more efficient with my route. I mean, I knew this time I wasn't really going to find anything, but I just want to show that to you guys. So if you're going to end your turn one space away from some kind of goodie hut, go ahead and just stop and search and then move 2 turns like this. That's much better. Alright, this guy, let's just go ahead and move you southeast. We're gonna keep on going. So since I do want to finish my third guy, and then we're gonna have the saw pit. As I said, we're going to build out this way because your bonuses that you get, the best ones, are going to be for next to resources. So this is going to be a really good science square. If the map tags working properly, it would show you it's going to be some really good bonuses for adjacencies, and then we can build out over here to be next to this mountain tile for some other bonuses, adjacent bonuses. So I always like to go mysticism right off the bat to get that pantheon, and then the altar is super helpful. And then I typically like to go to discipline, and then sometimes straight into the mastery, just because these are two pretty easy wonders to get. The AI doesn't do a whole lot. They don't get those a whole lot of times, what I'm saying, even on deity. As far as government, unless there's a very specific thing I'm going for, I almost always choose oligarchy. It's just too good. Science, like early on, your science isn't great. So like 20% science, we're at 15. That we're talking about 3 extra science a turn. Or culture, we're talking about 2 extra science for 10 turns. I rather have the food and the production towards building options, because these wonders and these training units, and this is just infantry units, those are specific. Oligarchy, this is going to be good for setting up you to explode throughout the game. Again, we talked about culture, so we're going to plug in that culture to get that going pretty good. We're going to keep exploring. Oh, there's some camels, more gold, lovely. Right here where this is, let's see our settler map mode. Oh yeah, this is a good city spot. We got a nice adjacencies here. We have mountainous here, so we've got some good adjacencies right there, even right over here if we had to. It's a good settler spot. Oh, map tags. I did not know that. Maybe now the map tags are going to work because we can show them. Nope. Oh well. We'll just forget about that and continue on. Over here, food or gold. I'm not worried about food right now. We have a lot of it, so I'm gonna get that gold so we can potentially buy some things in the future. Oh man, 3 incense? That's insane. And we found a natural wonder. We got to do a city up here. Like this, insane. Let's see where we're at. So always when you're thinking about a city, let's see where your fresh water is going to be. So we go here, we 3 tiles away from the gypsum, which is going to be really good. But then we get this really nice science adjacency here, and we have a good culture adjacency with the mountain, happiness adjacency. It's looking like a really nice city spot. These are the things I'm thinking about whenever I'm playing. I may not mention them in any games or anything like that, but these are all things I'm thinking about constantly. Of like, okay, what is being revealed? What am I seeing? Okay, so I found this guy, Segunia. I've played enough to know Segunia is a culture city-state. So if I need that, okay, I can beeline it. I personally like to do the economic ones first because of the bonuses that you get. The lapis lazuli is just too good. 100% happiness, or 100 happiness towards the next celebration. Well, so that's our celebration is coming in 140 turns. That would speed us up quite a bit, but we lose science for 1 turn. I'm okay with that. With how fast that speeds us up, I'm okay with that trade. You're gonna run this way. You're gonna come over here. There's Segunia. Production for 3 turns. I cannot lose production. The earliest tech boost is It doesn't matter. I'm just going to take that tech and move on. I can't afford that. Catherine, all right. Now try your hardest to make sure you have 20 diplomacy saved up, so that you can give a friendly start to your relationship. Unless you want to be mean and go to war. I'm not going to do anything else right now because I do want to get that city-state, the economic city-state, as soon as I can. We're going to just move up over here. Let's see if there's anything over there. Oh, this is looking like a nice mountain area. So I know she came from this way, so it may not be the best idea to keep scouting if I want goody huts. We found another place, Khotan. That's really nice. They're actually in a really good spot. We may either take them out or seize them and integrate them, depending on our diplomacy situation. We're just going through. All right, now we've unlocked pottery, so we're gonna, double these up. I try to put all my ageless buildings on the same tiles. It just makes a little bit more sense. All right, well, since she's offering, I'm going to take that extra +6. That's just too strong for what we want to do. We always want that culture early to start getting things out. All right, well, we do have to cross your borders a little bit. Let's come over here. Now that we're sufficiently far away from where we explored last time, we can click the button again. All right. Not seeing too great of city locations. We don't have to worry about it right now. We're not pop 5. You have to be pop 5 to do a settler, just in case you were unaware. Now, when picking these, it's always a good idea to take a look at what does your city need. Like if I was negative gold, I would probably pick one of these that has gold on it. If I'm struggling with happiness, I'd probably pick those with happiness on it. But because I kind of want to get out this direction, I'm just going to pick this one right here. It's going to open up more tiles, give me some science. Science is always lovely. Oh, come on, let that be through. Now this, if you ever see flats, this you want to get because it gives you a flat science and culture non-stop, where like, okay, 10% culture, that's pretty good once you get going. But right now, 14, 15 turns in, 1 silk is not as good as this flax, just from a culture standpoint. Then this also gives you science. So this is like having silk and incense on 1 tile, but better because we wouldn't even be getting 2 unless we had more than 1 of them. So if you see flax, that should be a high priority, as well as the gypsum and the wool, anything that gives production. Production, flat science, flat culture, molto bene. That's what you want. So we're just gonna jump through, and the early part's pretty good because I want to show you the decisions of these random events that pop up and why. So read the text if you want. It's pretty fun, pretty good text. But we're focused on the outcome. So again, it's culture. Unless this was like 5 times what the culture is in the beginning of the game, I'm always going to pick culture. Look at that, 2 turns it shaved off. Like, why would I do anything else? All right, now let's see what we got over here. Got a spot down there, but this guy's looking a little close. All right, so now he can just be set to. We'll just come over there for a couple turns. Yeah, you can come straight down to that. we're starting to come over here. So we'll be good. 145. It's 220. And we're probably gonna, as soon as this pops, we're gonna hit to pop 5, so we're gonna get our settlers out. And so now let's get our discipline guy. I just like this mainly, not just for the Dirty Shuriken, but for the Free Army Commander. It's just so good. But then after this one, we are going to then go straight to calendar round because the bonuses that you get are just insane. We are producing buildings, okay, but as soon as this building's done, we're actually going to be producing settlers because we're going to be at pop 5. Settlers should always be top priority. You have settlement limit or you're about to get it, you should be training a settler somewhere. Have gold ready to buy a settler. So because of that, we're going to pick the food. That's going to be more helpful. And then we're going to pick the production and the science. Again, because the gold's just not that great right now. They've got some new pantheons out because of the update, which is real nice. That's nice. Happiness. I used to go stone circles, but this may not be a stone circle game because how much we have woodcutters. On quarters and settlements with an altar. I may be going science. That's always a possibility. The God of the Sun is always a nice all-around if you're just not sure what to do. I think this is going to be the one I do. Oh, God of the Forest. This must be new. Camps and woodcutters gets gold. I like it. I was going to do constructing buildings, but I think I like that. So we have a ton of those, and it looks like we're going to continue to have a ton of those. You can't just base it on your capital. You've got to base it on where are you looking at settling. So I know I want to come over here and settle. This is going to be a lot of woodcutters. I know I'm going to come up here and settle. So this is going to be like farms and plantations and mines. So camps and woodcutters. So what is this? This is what it is. A pasture, not a camp. This gives me a camp. That gives me a camp. That's a plantation. You know, the gold might be good, but I would rather get the speed of production. I think that's going to be more universally helpful for all of the what am I trying to say? All of the settlements and everything. It's going to be more universally helpful. Let's head down here. Alright, so we have one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add another. And then we'll buy the brickyard at 220. And so we're going to skip ahead to having the settlers out and settling a city. Where you already know, as soon as we get 220, we're going to buy that brickyard. We're placing it right on top of the saw pit. The altar, we're likely going to put on the city center. We might put it out to the side so that we can get some more bonuses to it. But just sit back, hang tight, give me just a second, and you'll see our expansion. Here we are on turn 34. We have our settlements out. We went here because of the adjacencies and the resources we have over here. It made them upset, so we're going to have to get a slinger out over here. Same thing with this settlement. Just too many good resources. We're going to have to get a slinger out and protect ourselves, but we're going to friend them first. This was why I was debating earlier of accepting or supporting their diplomatic things, because I could have had them as a friend already, and now they've become hostile because I settled too close. it's going to take longer to get them on board, but we'll need to. We gotta get it anyways. Now I've unlocked with the library the Great Stele. And so what I like to do, even though I know I'm about to get irrigation, I like to get the Great Stele out because of the gold that you get whenever you... Where is it going to show us? You get 200 gold when you construct a wonder in this settlement, including the Great Stele. So I like to snag that. It's really good for your culture victory, and then you can usually buy something that you missed while building it, and just keep powering through. And so we're going to get that, and then depending on our gold, we're probably going to get the altar. The altar on the city cap is 5. That's super nice. And then we're going to do the Cool Ana. We're going to rush that. And so we probably going to put that right here, and then we'll just do that. That flips around and makes your city grow because it moves that pop already. That way you can go ahead and claim. If you do that little trick, you can go ahead and claim stuff faster. And what you can actually do, because it's not going to let me now because I have this spot open, but before you do that, you can queue up a bunch of buildings, and you can on places where you're going to have a rural tile. So if there's like a farmland or something you don't care about, you can queue up a bunch of buildings on those tiles and make them active, and then cancel them, and now you've reorganized your pops. You can have, like, I think I've had like 4 pops reorganized other places. So it's just a little trick you can use to help yourselves out. Okay, so you have actually attacked me now. That's fine. We'll get some gold, and we'll, I like it. This is why I went the attribute point to start, because now I can get the buildings out faster. Alright, what do we want here? Yeah, more gold. Perfect. Combat strength. I'll take the gold. You can have the combat strength. So now that we're done with that, so normally what I like to do in my games, because I'm pretty used to it, is I like to, before I go into irrigation, I like to do a pottery to writing opening most of the time, unless like this opening we had, then we did animal husbandry into writing, and then I like to get masonry, irrigation, and come back to sailing. That's what I'm doing now. Most of the time I do pottery, writing, animal husbandry, writing mastery, because I can start stealing, which is really powerful. Then I do what I just said. But that can really tick people off. And we're not, as Ada and the Mayans, we're not going to have a problem with science. So we're going to avoid making people mad for the time being. And we're just going to keep exploring. This is looking like you're pretty done, so you're going to come back here. You're looking like pretty done over there. Where's my other guy? Oh, you're all the way down here. Yeah, okay. So we've got a little bit of a barb problem, but it's not going to be too bad. No, man, I wish I could, but I can't. And so now at this point, we've discovered most of what we want. We're just going to send our scouts off into the wild blue yonder. I'm hoping we can get some gold in time, because we're not going to be able to friend them for a little bit. Somebody's... Alright, open border with Simone has completed, that's fine. What is a Holche? Alright, next turn we get a Holche, we'll be fine. Didn't want to do it, but, you know, we had to. Oh, I think we just lost this city. have to get a whole share. Alright, we're gonna get this production tile. We're gonna get that production tile. Great, and then we're just gonna go ahead and snag another science. Food's probably helpful. Production is more so. Do we want another 3 science? Or no, we need the production. We need the building. And actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the gold out and put a little more production in. So we are in a bit of a pickle. Bit of a pickle indeed. Don't know if we're gonna save both of our cities or not, but we're certainly going to try. Is there? I cannot incite. There's no Valatarks. I bet they incited against me. I think we die. I think we lose this city. Not gonna be able to get units up there in time, and it's unfortunate. Well, I should have moved him up there. What can we generate? We can generate in 2 turns. We're gonna try and save this. We'll let you know what happens. That we have the barbarian problem well under hand. We're befriending them, so we're not gonna have to worry about them anymore. We are going to end this episode by showing you what happened. So we had our plan, but of course, we held too close without friending them first, which was intentional to show you. We had to buy a lot, we had to build a lot, so it kind of threw off our plan a little bit. We did get the Great Stele, so we were able to buy the fishing key that gave us food and production. That is actually going to be helpful. But now we're in a good position with our military that not have to worry about much of anything. They're going to be friendly. We're just going to now be working on others as we can. Simone and Harriet went to war, so we're going to stay out of that. We have a nice settlement location right here. 3, 2, 1. Somewhere like this right here, this little oasis, so we can get to the gold, we can get to all these other resources. They are friendly, so we want to start befriending them before we settle that, so we don't have another independent people issue. But let's just show you. So what we've done also, we've bought the brickyard in here because we are going to turn this into a city, so might as well buy it when we have the chance. And that lowers the convert to city costs. And over here we are going to buy some of the things that we're going to get in our city regardless, as we have that goal. But what we're doing now is we have our queue for our main city, our capital, for the foreseeable future. We want to get the Ku'anat and the Hadla out because of the bonuses that you get from having that unique quarter. Then of course we are at 3 out of 4 for settlement limits, so we want to get a settler out as soon as possible. This is going to be helpful all game long, not just antiquity. So we needed to get those out, and then we just have things placed in here. We have the altar so that we actually get the buildings built faster. I was looking, this is 7 turns, this gives 10%, so that's 10 turns. We might save 1 turn to put the altar first. I'd rather just get those out now. Like overall it would be 1 turn less, but then that would be 3 turns later before we get these. So then we're just going through, we're gonna get the barracks for more production, monument for culture, and some diplo. And then we got a nice garden location for food and some gold. And then we've got some more wonders. So we got those queued up. If Hang Gardens gets taken, which it usually does pretty quick, that's fine. But we're gonna get Der Shuriken and the Bursa to get more gold and for our legacy path. and that has us, pretty well stocked for now, so that we can focus on exploring, we can focus on growth, and then just saving up our gold to convert our cities into our settlements into cities. The first one we're going to convert is this one because of all of the incense, and we're going to work our way out to the gypsum. This is going to be real nice, especially then when we get the gold for purchasing units discount. This is going to be really good. So that's where we're at right now, and why we made those decisions. Thankfully we do have the Jaguar Slayers that were able to come in and do a little bit of damage, take some heat off of Khan, and then we had our commander, and then another Jaguar Slayer and a couple of other units come in to help out that unfortunately died, but they had a pretty mad rush coming at us, so we had to handle that. As far as this goes, we're done building the wonders, so we're gonna get the science back in. Our gold is not, 0.2 gold versus food. It's an easy decision, put that food in there. But that's where we're at basically turn 50. I know it's 54. And so we're going to just keep right along. This map is starting to get crunched in. We're going to have to use our gold or do a settler rush. We need at least 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have a fourth one, or our seventh one will be up here, and that'll probably be it for our settlements for the Antiquity Age. Unfortunately, we had to waste a lot of gold because we took those bonuses with Catherine. We supported it instead of just accepting. We should have saved that Diplo and friended both of these, because in the end we probably wasted 400 gold having to buy units, which it is what it is, but it just goes to show you that you got to plan before you just put down cities. And so did that to show you guys, like, even though they started friendly, if you sell too close, they will become not friendly and you will have to deal with them. I know I'm friending them. I probably should have taken them out, but it's whatever at this point. And we are going to, let's see, 23 turns. I bet we still get this culture one Suze before we Suze that one. And yeah, so that's where we're at. We're looking pretty good, and this is going to conclude our current part of the guide. And next time, what we're going to do is we're gonna jump back in when we've got things a little bit more developed, because you know the plan, you know the build order here. We're going to settle here, then we're going to look to settle out here with our final one over there, and along the way we are going to get Khotan as friendly. That's we may have to do that one because I think he's going to be upset if we settle right here, but we're going to go for Sagunia. That's what we're going to do, and then Khotan. Once they're friendly, we may just mass our forces and just take Khotan out, so we don't have to even worry about anything. I think that's what we're going to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and prep people to get into place. You've got to stay there for a few more turns. But you can come over here, and you can come over here, because I just want to be ready. We may not take them out. We'll see what happens, but yeah, so anyways, back to what I was saying. We're gonna jump back in with this city founded and our plan to see how we're doing. We are rushing the calendar around. I know our culture is really low, and it probably would have been better to do something else, but we get Mandita Perdido. We get, after researching tech or civic, we get culture or science equal to 10% of its cost, vice versa. So that's really going to help us catch up with our culture because our science is so good. I forget the science costs, but it's something like so 10 turns. We'll just find out. 10 turns. So it's like 300 330, wrong button, for the currency. So that's going to be, boom, an immediate, in every settlement that has it, 30 culture. Okay, and then same thing for the masteries. So you just imagine, so that's 30, 45, 45, 45, and it's like 60, 60. Like that ends up being a lot of bonus culture and science. So we'll catch up on culture no problem pretty quick. What we really need to do is we really need to save our gold to upgrade these cities so that we can get them going as well, because that works. The production bonus from the Kulana and the Hala work in every settlement. So it's 5%. Okay, so again, so it's 15 production basically for the market currency. Sorry, I was thinking about the markets I can buy with it or get with it. So that's 15 production, but when those buildings are 150, 200 production, like that's still a sizable amount of production we're getting. So I just say that to tell you, like, you gotta plan, you gotta know what your civ does and how to utilize its strengths. And so don't make mistakes like I've made before of not getting those buildings down, and they've got to be on the same hex. That's what I really like about, I think it's a mod I have, like when you put it down, or maybe the game just does it now, of showing you where to put it. If it's red, don't put it there. I don't care about the tiles. It's more important to have that unique quarter. That's just going to sum it up there. I know I've said that before, but there's just so much information to get to you guys that eventually you'll just start learning and to do without thinking much of it. But again, the top priority is always to have fun. If that is an easy, blow everybody out of the water, set it up that way. If it's a challenge, set it up that way. Just have fun. But this has been Casual Dad Plays Civ 7. We've been doing our ultimate guide to Civ 7 videos. Make sure you check out the other ones in the series. They're going to help you out a lot. And hit that subscribe button and turn that bell on so that you can stay tuned for all videos in the series. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.